Disrupt yourself or be disrupted with Nikki Verd, a kick-ass author, international keynote speaker, digital knowledge amplifier, and a voice for those who yearn to reinvent themselves.
Education is so important because when you look at where the world is today, you really find out that data, which is the word I want to use for education, is the new gold. We really found a time in the past where everybody was all about finding gold. Everybody said, we want to look at gold, we want to get gold. We all know how precious gold is. But gold is no longer gold in today's world. It's now data, right? Because AI uses data, can show you how to become more profitable. And when we looked in South Africa, we tried to find out who owns the most data on South Africans. We asked this question to the president and government to say, where does the data of South Africans live? The answer is Facebook. Facebook knows the most about South Africans. Facebook is not South African. Facebook is an American company. When you look at the second person who owns the most data, it's TikTok. TikTok knows South Africans more than the government knows South Africans. And we're really finding out that these countries are shaping their agendas and influencing us. With the TikTok algorithm in Africa, they're able to control the Facebook algorithm. They're able to control everything because we don't control any data. And that's where we want to start. We want to start by controlling data and ensuring that every single South African learns online. That's the first and foremost thing. Because what we've learned is that we don't have enough time to train our teachers to become as good as teachers in the US, our lecturers to become as good as lecturers in Harvard. We don't have that time. Yes, we're going to do it, but we don't have the time. So we want to turn the teachers into more facilitators, where they will also be in the classroom to make sure that every child is disciplined. But on the screen will be a professional, not a human being. It will be an AI bot that will be teaching the students the most relevant cutting edge information at that time. Literally, a lesson could be updated the same time. Because remember, if 40% of new information is coming into this world every single year, new. Textbooks can't keep up.
They can't.
There's no way that they can keep up. So what can keep up is learning algorithms. And that's what we're going to be teaching our young people information. When they get to school, they're going to be learning latest information. You know what it does to a young person when they see the latest car? Have you seen a young person when you say to them, this is the latest Mercedes-Benz or latest Ferrari or latest Lamborghini? They go crazy. They want to learn everything. They are ready to say, break this thing up. I want to see how it was built. This is the latest. Young people, you give a young person the latest iPhone. They will not eat trying to figure out what's going on because it's the latest.
Absolutely.
Our brains are wired to receive new things and learn and process them. And that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that South Africans are learning the latest, most brilliant cutting edge tech. And when they learn that, sorry to interject, when they learn that, we want to also make sure that we incentivize them to continue learning. Now, this is financial incentives. What does this then mean? This means that while you get your 350 grant, if you could learn a degree of the fourth industrial revolution, like blockchain coding, we will give you an extra 1,000 rand upon your grant. And now we have people in the township saying, my thing is I must learn this blockchain thing because listen, if you pass this blockchain thing, you get an extra 1,000 rand. What are we doing? We're conditioning the minds of South Africans to say there is profit in knowledge. And now we have every single South African studying this blockchain thing, and it's a trend. And all over the whole country, everybody's saying, I need to be a data analyst. And people are saying, what is going on? And they're saying, the moment you're a data analyst, the government gives you 10,000. Now remember, we're giving them 10,000 because we know that they will not take the 10,000 because there are jobs of $10,000 for every data analyst. So automatically we create this culture amongst young people where you get paid to learn certain things, not everything. Things that are in demand, things that will cause the nation to become a leader. Now young people are going to school. Parents are now saying, listen, I need to make sure my child is learning this thing because the next door neighbor's child learned it and became rich. What did they learn? They learned blockchain coding. Where? Online. Listen, give me the website. Kid, you will be learning. Parents will literally be making sure that their children are learning this thing because they've seen the financial incentive that comes with it. Instead of us just taking kids to university, they go through 3 years of NAFSAS. Do you know how much the government spends on a student? It's over 300,000 rand that government is spending. way more for a student just to get a degree to sit at home.
And a degree that is probably not relevant for the world in which you are living today.
Why can't this be online learning?
I recently was called to give a talk to a school. It's more like grade 5 to 7 or so. But these young kids, I asked the normal question that people usually ask, what do you want to be when you grow up, right? And I was very intentional about asking that question. And all the kids that were in the room, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a dancer, I want to be a model, I want to be an engineer. Okay, it sounds all good, right? But then I pointed out the flaw in all of these things, not blaming the kids, by the way, pointing out the flaw in the education system. These kids in 2023, none of them could mention, I want to be a digital marketer when I grow up. None of them could say, I want to be an AI expert or a data analyst or a machine learning or a smart home instructor or developer or smart city builder or any of these things that this is where the world is going, right? But kids are still stuck answering the same questions the way my parents did when they were asked that question back in the day, because that's how people answered. So where is the question I was asking was, where is the innovation in the education system? We have not imparted into our kids that mindset that the world has become digital. In 2023, there is no one kid in the classroom who responded with anything that was linked to technology or digitization. And I spoke mostly to the parents because parents were also there. I'm like, as much as the school system is failing our kids in this area, us as parents living in a digital age, raising kids that are going through our smartphones. Like sometimes if my son operates on my laptop, I will have to come back and be like, hey, can you put it back the way it was? Because I don't even know what it is. Like they are that good with digital systems, but then they are being raised in an education system where the future is still about being, the same thing that our parents were in the past. Nothing has improved to open the minds of the children to understand that careers are changing. Careers are evolving. It doesn't mean that tomorrow there will be no doctors, by the way, but it needs to be taken into place that my smartwatch now can tell me so many things that I needed a doctor to tell me before. This is how the profession is changing. Are we teaching our kids these changes? So you mentioning that the Arise intend to digitize education, I think that is very powerful, but there's a process to get there right.
Yeah, and I think, part of the process, a lot of people have basically said to us to say, you're dreaming too big. And they've basically said to us, stop this dreaming too big because people will believe it and they will be disappointed, And I asked the person to say, what's the biggest problem? And they said, there's no internet in the rural areas. There's load shedding. Right. So how will these kids go to school when there's blackouts? Right. And I said, I'm so grateful that you asked that question because we have Starlink.
Right.
Starlink is Elon Musk putting satellites up in the sky. And when we say it's Elon Musk, it could be Mpho Dagada putting satellites up in the sky as well.
Right.
And you're beaming internet into every village and every school in South Africa. Yeah. No load shedding can stop it.
Absolutely.
It functions without your own electricity from load shedding. You put in solar together with other electricity in the schools, on the roofs, very simple, to power those devices, and learning can happen irregardless of load shedding. So the solutions we have are very clear and well thought out of. The people that don't want us to implement them are people that function by making people fear change.
Right.
And the beautiful thing about South Africa is we are already on ground zero. We're already on the floor. You can't say, but what about the textbooks that have been printed? Sorry, they don't work. We're already on ground zero. So why are we still trying to hold on to things that don't work when there's new ways of doing things?
Absolutely.
There is absolutely no need for us to be continuing to be spending so much money on NAFSIS when our graduates are unemployed.
Absolutely.
Why not look at making sure that online learning is available and financial incentives are put there? I'm telling you, education will be like a drug.
Right.
Every single young person will be looking, I need this blockchain. How much did you say you get? After your third year, government will give you 10,000 rand a month. Right. Every young person will literally be after it. When they are failing, you literally find young people standing in a corner saying, Joe, please, I need to understand this past paper. How do you code this thing? How do you? Because what we're then doing is we're then creating a culture where financial reward is based on what are you doing that is relevant for where the country's growing. Right now, it's the skewed way around. So that's a lot of the things that a lot of people miss out. They miss out on the fact that innovation must happen.
It has to.
And for it to happen, what we're basically doing is we're rebuilding our country because we're putting things that were supposed to be put. A lot of people like to believe that, as young people or as our eyes, we're coming up with new things. We're coming up with, these are things that the whole world is doing. The only issue is that they haven't traveled to go and see what the rest of the world is doing. Dubai, which got civilized way after we were civilized or we were modern, never started with classrooms that you're talking about. So these classrooms, you're saying we must prefab the classrooms, do this, send out textbooks, print out a textbook syllabus. This has never happened anywhere else. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're coming in like a wind to say things must change. And we've decided that they must change with us. And we're sticking with that change and sticking to those guns.
Disrupting yourself is the key to progress and growth in the world of disruptive technologies.